Tune.
Sak Pase, what's going on, world? Welcome to another episode of the Team Sak Pase podcast. My name is Glad.
I am Rob.
And let me tell you guys, we're going to have an awesome show for you guys tonight. I've got Henny in my system, audience, for this show. You want to know why? Because we've got
Bobby
Jamz,
infamous
living legend.
legend.
Now, before we really get into it, we're going to set the table right. I got a story to tell.
Speech.
Because Rob, you knew Bobby Jamz before I did. So
Right.
I want to tell my story of how I became to know Bobby Jamz.
Ahead, bro.
There was one night you told me, like, yo, Glad, I got these shirts. We're going to push them. Come to the club with me. I got to link up with this DJ, Bobby Jamz. All right, cool. As you know from the previous show, y'all already know I'm with the shits, right? So we rolling. We get to the club.
Right.
We get to the club. I get to the line. There's a line at the club. I get to the line respectfully. You
Right.
start walking up.
Right.
I'm like, yo, bro, the line's right here. Like, nah, Bobby Jamz got us.
Yeah.
Right?
We good.
So I'm like, all right, cool. So I go to the front with you.
Mm-hmm.
We meet security.
Right.
Security starts talking. We talk to security like, yo, Bobby Jamz. Security gets Bobby Jamz. Bobby Jamz come out, and he's just sick. He does one of these things with his hands. Like,
Right.
like, yo, these guys are with me.
Right.
So you introduce me to Bobby, and now we go into the club. We proceed to go in the club. We got a bunch of shirts in our hands.
Correct.
Going through the club.
That's our ticket. That was our ticket in.
Ticket in, right? I don't know what's going on. I'm just following y'all lead.
Right.
VIP is upstairs.
Mm.
The VIP is upstairs, right? VIP, we got a bunch of shirts on our hand, walking through the crowd. Everybody's looking at us like, yo, who the hell are these guys, right? We get to the VIP, right? Security is there with the rope.
Yep.
Bobby Jamz, again, signaling in his hands like, yo, these guys are with me, right? We go upstairs.
Right.
We make a hard left.
Yeah.
This is my story.
Right.
Didn't forget this.
Mm-hmm.
And all I see is models and bottles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, is this what it's going to be like every week rolling with this? Like, this is
Yeah.
crazy.
This is
You know what I'm saying? Like,
models and bottles.
Bobby, like,
It's true.
even before we really started getting into the movement, like, you treated us with a certain respect. Because I think you saw the vision of what we were trying to do when we sat down with you and we kind of shared with you what we wanted to do. And we appreciate that. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? And
Absolutely.
and it's like tonight, like, we want to give you your flowers. We're going to dive right into it. But like, we want to make sure, and that's one of the stories. That's how we met. That's how we became cool,
Flowers?
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, flowers,
I got
flowers,
you.
bro.
Yes,
I got you.
absolutely, man.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
it was, let me tell you, I think if I go back to 2005-ish time, right?
Hey, that's when you was doing Bell
I
Fashion.
can't remember.
We were
bro.
doing, yeah.
Yeah.
I was doing belt
You was
fashion.
doing a lot back then.
I was doing a lot back then.
Belle
and
fashion, yeah.
I said, yo, we got to hit the clubs. And I used to talk to myself in the third, like, yo, Rob, what you doing? Like, yo,
This
let's
is
go.
before, just to let the audience know, this
Right.
is before the Sak Pase movement.
This was the Sak Pase, yeah.
You was doing Bell Fashion, and you linked up with Bobby
With
Jamz.
Bobby Jamz.
So the relationship was already there.
It was already there. Bobby Jamz. So I'm gonna give y'all a scenario. Bobby Jamz. I'm walking in. I'm gonna give you the story, not the scenario. But Bobby Jamz is DJing at Mission.
This is in
Right.
the city?
Is in the city.
Right. Mission.
Mission.
Yeah.
Right.
Before
the
it
red
became
carpet
Patra.
label. Shout out to
Yes,
these
yes,
dudes,
yes.
man. Heavy hitters. So these guys always had Bobby. So Bobby, I kept hearing Bobby. At the time, Facebook was just coming out, but all my friends were like, yo, you need to go to this party. You need to go to this party. All right, cool. So I got I would say a dozen shirts on my back. And the line is up the street on Bowery. I think it was on Bowery,
It was
right?
on Bowery, yeah.
And I'm like, damn, I got to get in. Who do oh, you know what? I got to bless security. I'm like, look, I walk up to security. I said, look, I'm here. I'm promoting some shirts. What size do you wear? He said, I wear extra large. Here you go. Boom. I got in. First person I see is Bobby.
Mm.
And I'm like, that's my ticket.
Mm.
So now I see Bobby. Bobby's
So
on
you
the-
used me. Okay.
pretty
get
much.
it. You used me.
I pretty much use you. No, but it's not just using you. It was just the way that you had the crowd like on tilt. Like I
Don't
was
say
like,
that. Vargas Maisumi. DJ Vargas Maisumi. That's his logo.
Oh,
Tilt?
On the
Tilt,
club.
on
Yeah,
Tilt.
he got tilt. Yeah. So,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
Vargas. Oh,
we-
Vargas. Yeah.
Mission was yeah.
Bobby-
It was an adventure.
Bobby was on the mic. Everyone, I mean, dancing. I had no idea what Haitian clubs were like.
Yeah.
I'm coming from, American hip hop. Like
Yeah.
that was the era, and I was like, yo.
And when we started the Sak Pase brand, like I said previously in the previous show, you were our ticket in. You know what I'm saying? Again,
Right.
because you saw the vision, you saw what we were trying to do, and you gave us a certain respect even before we really did anything. You was like, yo, these are two brothers. They're representing the culture through a fashion brand, and we just want to thank you for that and say thank you. You know what I mean?
We will definitely
sure.
say thank you, bro. Yeah. Thank you, bro.
But we're gonna take it to the beginning because a lot of people
Beginning with me or
Yeah,
beginning
with-
of
Yeah, this
with
is
you.
yeah,
for
yeah,
those,
yeah,
for those,
yeah,
for
yeah,
those,
yeah.
for those who may not know you, and if you know, you know, and if you don't know, you're gonna know tonight.
Absolutely.
Like inspiration wise, from the beginning, like you're an awesome DJ, bro. You've infiltrated the culture. People give you a lot of props and respect. But like, where did the passion come from? At what age did this start?
honestly, the passion start at 11 years old.
Ooh.
Had an uncle, not had, he's still alive. My uncle in Florida.
Mhm.
I used to go spend the summers in Florida, and I saw him DJing. I've always listened to music. I've always been on the radio. Mr. Magic, for people who know who Mr. Magic is, and Red Alert,
Yes.
and Marley Marl.
Yes.
And in Miami, he was a DJ. Whole crowd, I'm sorry. He's a
Bro,
DJ.
live
he's a DJ.
on
He's
set,
a
we
DJ.
got this dude
Yeah,
popping.
He blowing
his
up.
phone. We told him to put it on vibrate.
My bad.
Ladies and
I
gentlemen,
gotta get this guy.
My
this
bad.
is Bobby
We gotta-
Jamz live with his phone.
You know what it is?
We gotta get
Comment
him-
below.
We gotta get.
Tell him that he's disrespectful and everything.
We gotta get him a Haitian celebrity tee instead
Yeah.
of a Haitian hustler tee.
Absolutely.
But go ahead.
Go ahead. It's on vibrate, right?
It's on vibrate.
Okay. All
So
right.
in
Go ahead.
St. Petersburg, Florida, my uncle, Gerard,
Okay.
I saw him DJ, and I'm like, I was at awe, and I said to myself, I could do that at 10.
Wow.
Now, remember, 10 years old back then, because now, and I'm proud of my age. I turned 50 this year. I'm going on almost
That's what's
40
up.
years being a DJ, so
That's what's up.
it is what it is. But 10 years old, how you going to afford equipment? This is
No,
records.
I'm sorry. Just really quick. You said you're 10 years old
10
and
years
you're
old, that's-
going into a club?
No. My uncle's house. I'm not
Oh, your
coming
uncle's
to the-
house.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. And I'm watching him DJing.
Okay.
He's playing classic stuff, back in the day and stuff
Okay,
like that.
okay.
So I did what every broke kid did back then. You took your mother's stereo, took your father's stereo,
Yeah.
taking mixes, and then I had my mother buy me records.
Nice.
Every once a month buy
Okay.
records, and I pretty much understood the concept. At 10, 11 years old, I understand, mixing.
Okay.
Now my timing wasn't great, but I still knew how to mix. So that's how it really started.
So your uncle was playing Haitian music at the
No,
time?
he was
Okay.
playing hip hop.
Oh, really?
Classic R&B.
Nice.
This is the 80s.
Right.
We're talking
Right.
late
Yeah,
80s.
yeah,
So,
there's no
there's no
taboo,
taboo.
no
Even though I was raised with the
raised
taboo
through
with the
that.
fault,
Right,
my
I got
dad
you.
was a huge
Okay.
Ska fan. So I heard the music.
Okay.
But because they were speaking Creole and growing up, my mother would always speak to me in English so I can speak English properly. So I never really was into the Haitian music like that. I listened to it. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Unless I'm hearing the Taboo Juicy Lucy, which was in English. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
First.
So
hip-hop, yeah.
that's how I got into it. And, the first party I ever DJ'd was 16 years old, Abraham Lincoln High School.
Wow.
That
Tell
was
us
the
about
first
that.
party I did. It was Abraham Lincoln High School was having one of the dances. They hired a company.
Okay.
And back then, these companies, they were white boy DJs, so they really didn't understand our music.
Right.
So I kind of like bogarted the party. Like while I came there with my bag, I had hip hop reggae records in my backpack, and I just stood by the DJ and I just waited. I just chilled.
At
And then
16.
when he saw that people weren't really dancing, I was like, yo, let me. He said, "You're a DJ?" I was like, "Yeah, I've been doing it for a while." I lied, in a sense where professionally. He gave me like a 30-minute set. I did my thing.
Okay.
He hit me off with $25.
Okay.
And then that was my first gig.
Okay.
So
Was that the moment for you where you was like, yo, I can do this full time? Or
before I even did, I knew I was going to do it. Before I did that part, I knew I was going to DJ. What genre, I don't know. Because growing up, I was very eclectic. I listened to a lot of stuff. House music is my first love. But hip hop, R&B, and then I had the reggae phase, the early 90s.
Yep.
Okay.
Reggae was
and all of that.
dancehall, all that stuff.
All of that.
Okay.
And then when I turned 20, I believe, I got into the Haitian music.
Perfect segue. Let's talk about the HMI. For those of you who don't know,
HMI meaning?
the Haitian music industry.
Okay.
I joke around and say I hate it.
Talk about the Untouchables. How was that formed? Like, talk about that.
Untouchables is a whole different ball of wax because I made my name before the Untouchables.
Okay.
I first started working at, I got into the HMI by Radio Tropical, a radio station, Haitian radio station. Like, you had to get a box to hear them.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Wow. I remember
So I had a friend who was going to the station for a job and asked me to go with him.
Okay.
And there was a radio animator, personality. His name was Wyclef Jean. I have to say his name because it's important for the
And
story.
we know who was on the show.
Right.
Yeah, that's
The,
So
that's
that
the
guy,
thing.
That's the thing.
we both went, and he's talking to the other guy,
Okay.
but then he's watching me, and he sees that I'm looking at all the equipment, stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. And then a week later, he hired me instead of the other guy.
Wow.
Right. So I
Jesus Christ.
did it again.
No, the phone. The
I'm
phone.
sorry. You know what it
Bro.
is? It's my son.
he
My
needs-
son calls me at 10 o'clock
He needs
every
a
night.
Haitian celebrity shirt.
This guy.
Let the phone ring all the time.
No,
Who cares?
I'm sorry.
It's just a podcast.
All good.
So he hired me, and working in the radio station, that's when I decided to learn about Haitian music.
Okay.
So now, Haitian radio station, CDs just came out. So you got all this vinyl, they have the archives. So I'm listening to music all day, every day. And I started learning about the music and, old school, new school, blah, 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 so forth and so on. And then a year after that, Cafe des Arts opened.
Wow.
And Cafe des
Cafe
Arts, yes.
Cafe des Arts.
I remember that.
They came to the station to do promotion.
Okay.
They saw me, and then they said, come through. And I came through. The DJ that was playing there was whack. I'm not going to mention his name. And then they asked me, do you DJ? And I was like, yeah, I DJ.
Okay.
And I ended up being the house DJ at Cafe des Arts.
Wow.
Nice.
And then that's where my popularity really was the ish. Because back then, Zen was the hottest thing in town. Phantom was the hottest thing in town.
Right.
All the bands would play there.
Haitian
and
bands.
Haitian
Right.
bands.
Right.
And I would be the halftime DJ, the opening up and halftime. So I built a relationship with all those guys.
Okay.
And, it was fun. I'm not going to lie. I didn't make a lot of money, but I did make enough. I appreciated the connects. I made so much connects.
The relationship.
The relationships
A
was
lot of
bananas.
branding. You were branding your name too at the same time.
Yeah, so to speak.
So let me take it back a little bit. So Bobbyjamz, the name Bobbyjamz started
at the radio station.
At the radio
Wyclef Jean.
Yes.
Wyclef Jean was the guy that baptized me. He called me Bobbyjamz.
Because
Bobby Jam.
Jam.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what the original name was.
Okay.
And it stuck.
That's what's up.
And then everybody started calling me Bobbyjamz. The guys, the Haitians that couldn't speak English well called me Bobbyjamz. And, you know what I'm saying? But it was fun. It was fun.
All right.
It opened me up to, Brassy Creole, then Planet Malibu, and all those clubs. They wanted me and Jay Lover, because Jay Lover was my partner.
Okay.
And we would DJ all the spots. So we was the shit back then. Like
Okay.
one of the top DJs in town.
Okay.
Then during the Planet Malibu phase, I got bored. So I decided, okay, you know what? I cornered this part. What am I missing? How to create it. So during the time that I was at Cafe des Arts, so forth and so on, there used to be a band called Risque, the all-girl female Haitian band, the first one.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So the owner, the creator,
Taking it back.
yeah, the creator of that band,
Okay.
I met at Planet Malibu. Not Planet Malibu, Cafe des Arts. We always kept in contact.
Okay.
Around that same time, I was going to Nassau for the studio recording
Nassau
Community College.
College. Okay.
So we was at one of the days when I was DJing at Planet Malibu, and he was there. We was talking, and I told him that what I was interested in, not knowing that he had a studio. So he says to me, his name is Eddie Latozzi, another one of my OGs, my mentors. He says to me, Bobby, I'm not going to tell you not to go to school because school's important. But you can go to Nassau and learn it, or you could come to my studio. I'll teach you everything, and I'll pay you. So that was an easy decision for me. So I stopped going and I went to there, to 20 South Studio, which was one of the other popular HMI studios.
Okay.
Every band either rehearsed or recorded there.
Okay.
So that also branched me out to more musicians, learning about the music, creating it, being an engineer.
Gotcha.
I became an engineer there.
That's what's up.
So then when I got bored doing that, I eased my way back. By that time, Jay Lover was going to Club A's. Club A's open.
Right.
And I would go back and DJ with him at Club A's.
Crazy.
Okay.
And then during that time, the hottest DJs on the planet at that time was the Dream Team.
Yes.
Shout out to the Dream Team. Those are my peoples right there.
Yes.
Right.
So during that era, I linked up with the DJ Frankie, DJ Bonnie, and Power Mix.
Okay.
Right? And I don't know, one day Frankie decides that he wants to throw a party at Brassy. And then
Brassy,
Creole in Queens.
no doubt.
And he did the flyer, and he put all our pictures on the flyer. That was our first party, but we weren't called Untouchables yet. And then he made shirts. The cocky person that DJ Frankie is, and it helped our career in a sense.
Wow.
And he made shirts, and it was a circle logo, and it says Untouchables.
So he created the name.
He created
the name.
Him and Bonnie created the name.
Him and
The
Bonnie.
stories are conflicting,
Okay.
but they both were involved in creating the name.
So around what time, around what year? Like this is
Oh my God, this is
1990.
late 90s?
Late
Yeah.
90s.
Late 90s.
So bringing it back to like that party scene, like you guys are already like the Untouchables. So it was all about building relationships. Now,
At that time, it wasn't about relationships, because by that time I had already knew everybody. I was working with a lot of promoters. I already had a name. Me and Jay Lover had the name.
So apart from Untouchables.
That's all that happened before Untouchables.
Before Untouchables.
So then when we got together, I'm a team player. So whatever I did something, I always pulled them along. Because during that time also, I made relationships at SOBs. I was DJing at SOBs. I was DJing at Bentley's. I was DJing at there was another club, I can't remember the name, but a lot of clubs in the city. Papa Jube. I call him Papa Jube because he was a musician first.
Correct.
And his name was Papa Jube, and the band was called Jubilation. So, and I was the first on-air personality to play his records. So, based on that, we always was like this, and he always showed me love to this day.
Nice.
So that got my relationship at SOBs. So I already had all that before I joined the Untouchables. And then once we joined the Untouchables, because I wanted to get back into DJing, but now,
because you got bored.
Yeah, because I was doing it.
You're doing it, okay.
But after a while, when things is just same thing over and over again, you just want a little spice. So I said, going back to DJs, that's my go-to.
Okay.
So you had a long stretch, great run with Untouchables.
Oh yeah.
So now, Wyclef, Sak Pase Records. Talk to us a little bit about that.
The way I linked up with Clef was through at the time they were okay. See, I forgot something. Before I went to the Untouchables, while I was working at the studio, I created a rap group, right? And we was called, and this is gonna be crazy. We called it HK Family. HK Family.
Wow.
Black Rob did a song, Whoa.
Whoa,
Right.
right.
I did the Creole version of it. I called
Yes.
it Woy.
I remember that.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
And
hear
it
that.
was-
We're gonna
it
have to
was-
hear that. You still got that?
Yes, somewhere in the
Okay, we're
archives.
gonna have to
I
hear that
remember
one.
that.
And it was big.
Yeah,
it was big.
It was. It was.
And Planet Malibu was doing, Wyclef's wife was having a show. My manager, who was close with Clef, Manny Steins.
yes,
I think
we
you know Manny.
Yeah, Manny,
Yes, we know
Manny.
You know,
Shout out
that's
to
that's
Manny.
my
Man.
brother
Yeah.
from another mother right
Yeah.
there.
He's the first light-skinned Haitian.
I second that.
So I made him the manager of the group, and because his relationship with Clef,
Yep.
his wife was having a party at Planet Malibu,
Okay.
and he got us to perform there in front of Clef and the whole nine, and destroyed that spot, man, because the track was popping already,
Right.
and he didn't know who did it until we performed it. So with that relationship, after I stopped being a group and I went back to DJing, Manny was always still my guy. Matter of fact, he called me last week. He's in town for a little while, so we're gonna hang out. But
Okay.
whenever there was a show where Clef was doing some parties, they needed a DJ, he got me that gig. He made me play at Central Park with Clef one time, but I've been to the studio, Platinum Studios. I hung out, blah blah blah, so on and so on. But I never was signed to Sak Pase. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It
Which
was
was
basi-
Wyclef's record label at the time. It was called Sak Pase.
Sak-
Records.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So I was never signed to them, but I hung out with him. He did dub plates for me, and I DJ'd at certain events. And
Okay.
so that was not true.
Do
I
you
never,
regret not being signed to that label?
in retrospect, no,
Okay.
Oh, you don't know.
because the record deal is a record. If you know the industry, signing a record deal is like signing a life away. And I'm glad I never signed. You know, and there was some other. I mean, y'all guys know what y'all know some of the
Yeah.
stories that we really
Yeah.
can't
Right,
say,
right,
but
right.
so I'm glad I never signed. I never
Gotcha.
signed.
So let's talk about this whole DJ lifestyle. Like, did you have a 9 to 5 and DJing at night? Like,
Of
what
course.
was? Okay.
Of course. I mean,
So, what was it
Unfortunately-
like? What was it like?
unfortunately, the HMI. I have to say this.
Okay.
HMI, because even though we know what it is, but it's not really an HMI. There's no structure. That's the problem with the HMI. There's really no structure. So I had to keep a job because I made money with the Untouchables. That's goes without saying. We made a lot of money. You know,
Okay.
the concept of the Untouchables, where we DJed 5 places at once, people never knew, because that's why the logo, if you look at the logo, it's always black images. It's not, you don't even see our face.
Right.
And, you know, that was my idea. And with that, you know, Frankie could be playing here, Palmas is playing there, I'm playing over here. You never know who's playing, but you did book the Untouchables. So that was
You know,
a gimmick.
That's a
marketing.
that's a
That's
profound
great.
statement you said.
That
as
was a
far
great
as-
gimmick.
That's a profound statement you said. Excuse me, that about the HMI having no structure.
Nah.
I want you to kind of go deeper into that, because it's like there's so much great talent.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much great music.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And I guess my next question is okay, there may not be no structure, but do you believe that this music, with the Afrobeat sound being so profound that it is in the culture, do you believe that the HMI or the Kompa sound,
Of course.
the Rabadai sound,
Of course.
can be played in mainstream radio?
Of course.
So what's the issue? How come we're not hearing it? What's your take on that?
Guys, the American market, any market, it's a give and take. Okay? Some cases payola, some cases is relationships.
So who's not creating the relationships?
There's no HMI. That's the problem. Like, there's people that tried, and shout out to Miami, because they were closer than anybody else in the game.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Close to, as far as
Billing, because there was like Haitian artists that was being played on the radio out there.
right.
You know, and these guys rep Haitian flag.
Well, that's because they had a Haitian platform as far, or DJ.
no, it's not. It
Yeah.
has nothing with the platform. It's, first of all, not Haiti, Miami. As far as representation, me personally, that's my opinion. I felt that Miami was a little bit more structured than over here, in a sense where, you know, out here, everybody's fighting each other for some reason. They'll talk about, oh, we need to get together, blah, blah, blah. But it's really, yo, I'm trying to make my bread. And if you're trying to get my bread, I got to do something to you so that I can, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to Miami, even though it still exists, but there's more unity than it is over here. That's
somebody just mentioned that like a couple of days ago. They talked about the whole music industry.
So shout out to Miami, you know, Frankie Mixler. These DJs out there, they show me love every time I go there.
Okay.
They show the love. And even though there's love out here, but it's like a dog-eat-dog world over here. Different thing. So the reason why the music doesn't really cross over that it should is because, again, it's the relationship. Like, it starts off, but then there's a lot of resistance because, again, you have to have the relationship. You have to create the content that it can be played. Because Kompa is it's as much as I love Kompa, it is a difficult type of music because it's long. There's a lot of information on it because you have all the drums. You got the congas, you got the floor time.
But we talk about, we compare it to bachata and
but bachata.
But how about the Robert sound for example? That's almost close to or relates to like the Afrobeat sound.
It can.
Afrobeat,
So how come
Let me ask you a question. Who's out here in the US really promoting it to the powers that be that can get it to be played?
Great question, but I don't know. But I will say
there isn't any.
Well, okay, let's take a young DJ Mars, as you know.
That's my guy,
right? He's doing the whole trap Kompa sound, right? If he continues to develop that where he's going with it and his group is going with it, if he creates relationships to try to cross over that sound, do you believe it could be successful?
Music can be successful no matter what it is. It's the backing you have. Like, if it's one person doing it, nah, it ain't gonna get there. It won't, because money has to be put out. The industry, to bring it over, they gotta see how they're going to make money with it. You know what I'm saying? If they can't make money with it, they're not gonna invest in it. That's how all music is. So Afrobeats right now, that's popping right now. How much are these artists to book any of these artists? How much it cost them?
I don't know, 5-10K, maybe more.
Right, because if they bring him in town, they're not gonna put him in Brassie or Labadie. They're gonna put him in some major spots that hold the Amazura and better.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So they gotta know that this type of genre of music is going to make them money. And then there's got to be somebody who's representing that genre to push it, to let them know we can make money in this.
But as a promoter and just looking at it, saying, okay, well, these bands or these artists are still accepting the Boissy Creole and the, you know, the,
bro,
you know what I'm saying? As a big band, if I'm a big band man, if I'm a promoter,
bro,
if I'm a manager,
if we were to sit down and really talk about the problems of the HMI,
right,
it'll go into 6-7 episodes, because and this is just my opinion. I'm just saying that, looking at it, for being in the game for almost 20 years in the HMI, you can see it. It's I blame the bands, I blame the promoters, and I even blame the public at times.
Correct.
Because I can't, maybe I'm old, but I'm not going to spend $50, $60, $70 to go to an event, right? Starts at 1 o'clock, it's over at 4. I'm not going to go and spend $75 and then that same band played last week playing the same set. The same set. I'm not, and
so what needs to change? I mean, other than the mindset, is just the way
the mindset.
Okay.
And
how the promoters promote the bands.
Yes. And you have to create a demand. The other day, Impossible, they played at Amazura. This happened for the first time in maybe since the 90s. One band sold out Amazura. Okay? And my theory, And the reason why I sold out, not only I think they're the number 2 band right now in the HMI.
Who's number 1?
New Look. New Look Class. It's a fight between New Look Class.
Okay.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because every time these guys come in, they sell out. It's crazy. But Impossible, they haven't been in New York because of the shutdown of last year. People are hungry.
Right.
They're hungry.
Right.
I would like to see it happen again, but I don't think, because once these guys start coming in frequency as often as they used to come before, then it's gonna scale back. People's not gonna spend. You know what? They'll be here next month. I'll wait till next month.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? They're not creating that demand like that. A whole year bands didn't play.
Right.
So the people were hungry.
Wow.
Who made the money last year? DJs.
Yeah,
Right.
DJ. So, and that is actually what I was going to get into, as far as the DJ industry right now. You as an OG in the game, where do you see the next phase of DJs heading towards? Like what?
You talking about the HMI?
In the HMI.
I don't know, because I'm out the HMI, bro.
Great segue.
Yes.
Great segue.
I'm out the HMI. I wish them luck.
Look.
I will support them.
Right.
Well, I'm going to support the ones that I know can DJ, because I think I earned the right to say you're whack or not. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been doing it for a while.
You an OG,
so if you're
bro.
good,
Bro.
I support DJs that I know can play.
You
But
an OG.
As far as the HMI is concerned, and I'll always, I was at Alan Cavin's party last week. There's certain guys I'm going to go listen to. There's certain bands I'm going to listen to. But as far as seeing me there, like, I kind of pulled back hard these past 6 years.
Because you're now into...
I'm into Afro House, baby. House music, baby.
And Rob,
House music.
that's what I want to say, because it was a great segue. Like, so what are you working on now?
I'm working on a few things. I've been in the lab working on some ideas.
Okay.
I think that the stuff that I'm working on now, the fact that I'm so eclectic, and I'm heavily influenced by the Haitian music. I'm heavily influenced by all other types of genres. That the house music that I'm creating is going to have a little seasoning of that in it. There's an artist named Chloe. Shout out to Chloe, who signed to Simply 26 Records. She just put out 2 singles out, and one of the lead single, Love You Much, Love You So Much, I did the remix to it. And based on the reaction from the record label who heard the remix, is in love with it, and he wants to work with me. I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch.
That's what's up.
But that is looking very positive for me moving forward.
Congrats.
And I'm also working with a website, if you get a chance, called Spectac TV.
Spell that.
Okay.
SPETAK.TV.
Okay.
And this is a streaming service to where what they do is they create virtual concerts of a lot of world beat, world music.
Okay.
Right now, there's a lot of Zouk on there.
Okay.
I have a connect that's going to have an exclusive right to all the Haitian music, and that's my... So let's just say there's a situation that's happening with them,
Right.
Okay.
who's also backed by Trace. I don't know if you heard of Trace.
No.
They're like
Trace magazine?
No, Trace, the music.
Got you.
They're like in 136 countries where they promote music, so forth and so on.
Okay.
And I'm kind of like my guy, my connect, who's working with them, and he's actually going to be pulling me in, and we're working on a project that I'm in the beginning stages because I'm actually creating the music. So I'm looking at 2022 to where something big is going to happen.
That's what's up.
Based on, I just had a conversation with him not too long ago, to where my career is going to go to another level with this one.
I mean, look, bro, we congratulate you, and we also want to thank you as we wrap up this. I mean, we may have to bring you back on, bro, because
Yeah,
you got so much to talk about.
I had a couple of questions, but
Man,
We got so much to talk about. You definitely
gotta come back.
My
OG
career has
status.
been so crazy.
Definitely.
Like I mean, we didn't even touch Untouchables. We didn't even touch Untouchables, Sak Pase Miami, what we did out there.
Wow,
We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about, man,
We'll have to bring you back on.
But let me. So where the Bobbyjamz brand? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Like, where do you want to bring that brand?
I'm back home where I belong, DJing. I'm back. I'm come full circle. Because remember, when I started, I was into house music, hip hop, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm back to house music. And now I have the radio station, musicvibe.com. We're
Okay.
making changes with that.
Okay.
But I'm going back to, I'm at the last chapter of my career. Because like I said, I'm turning 50 this year. And how many more DJing I'm going to be doing? I don't think I'll be 80 years old DJing, 70 years old, maybe 70.
Okay.
I might be 70
Okay.
DJing,
Okay,
but
cool.
I'm
That's
at
what's up.
the
No, we really. Yeah,
I'm at the
what's up.
coda.
Okay.
No doubt.
So, what would you tell a DJ up and coming right now to wrap everything up? Like,
Be effing original. Stop copying other people's folders. You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to DJ like Stacks. Stack had his lane, respect his lane. Come up with your own lane. You know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of DJs that are doing it. Shout out to Mars. Shout out to Mars. He's doing
He'll be on
big
the show
things.
soon.
You know, shout out to Vargas.
Shout out to
Shout out
Vargas.
to even though he's still Untouchable family, so you know that's an extra love. But you know, shout out to Vargas. So there's a couple out there that's doing their thing. And again, if you see me at your party, that means I respect you as a DJ.
You heard
But
that.
all you DJs coming up, yo, just be original. Be
That's what's up.
original.
That's
Stop
what's up.
copying.
That's what's up.
Tell the people where they can find you.
They can find me at Bobbyjamz World on every format: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Bobbyjamz World with a Z, one word. Bobbyjamz World. Go to SoundCloud. You can hear a few of my remixes, you know, that I was fooling around with. But there's gonna be some.
Can we do something for the Team Sak Pase podcast? Like, can you drop like a?
What do you mean?
Like, can you
Create something?
Create something for?
I mean,
And-
you guys
I
are
don't-
family.
like,
Y'all don't
I don't
even
know.
have to.
That's a lot of
Can't-
money, bro. This guy.
No.
This guy. I don't
Can
know.
is not even a word. It's like, yo, I need you and I got you.
No
You know
doubt.
how it is, bro.
Appreciate
Come
you,
on,
bro.
guys.
Appreciate you.
I mean, you know, y'all fed me shirts for 3 years. I didn't have to go shopping. It's only right. I got to pay back those shirts, right?
No, there's no payback. No payback. It's just building relationships, man. And this is a great opportunity. Your entrepreneurship. You're a go-getter. Your drive. Your drive alone, bro.
I don't like to be bored.
Yeah.
No
So
doubt.
that's where my drive comes. I don't like to be bored.
We definitely
But
appreciate it.
Not Paying Music, that's the label, my label. Shout out to Simply 26 again. Shout out to SpicTac TV. Shout out to Trace. Shout out to Gary Philoxy. That's my guy. That's my guy who's gonna make me to that next level.
Nice.
Dope.
Manny Steins, he's still there. Love him to
Yeah.
death.
Shout out,
That's my
Manny.
brother.
Shout out, man.
No doubt. You heard it here first, guys. We here with the living legend, an HMI living legend.
Yes.
We had to make sure we gave him his flowers and do it properly.
Absolutely.
Mr. DJ Bobby Jamz.
Bobbyjamz.
Another episode of the Team Sak Pase podcast. A lot more to come, a lot more in store. We may even have him come on at another time. So thank you guys for tuning in.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Peace out.
Appreciate you.
All right.